My name is Amanda Savoie. I'm a research scientist at the Canadian Museum of Nature. I'm also director of the Museum Center for Arctic Knowledge and Exploration. So I'm here at Cambridge Bay studying seaweed, and we're really interested in a few different questions. We're interested to know where seaweed can be found in the ocean around Cambridge Bay, what species are found here, how abundant they are, and whether or not there's these special habitats called kelp forests, where you have large patches of kelp that kind of create a microhabitat and protection for fish and other fauna like invertebrates. And so we're sort of really in a preliminary stage of starting to understand, what seaweed live here and where can they be found. So the fun part with this research is that we're doing it with using scuba diving. So we go out on a boat, we find a dive site using sometimes drop cameras, or sometimes the water is so clear that we can look down into the bottom of the ocean basically and see if there's seaweed down there or not. Then we gear up and we jump in the water and we're scuba diving and collecting and also photographing and mapping where we find things. We collect samples using mesh bags. We bring them back to the lab so we can study them. And we have to wear a lot of thermal protection because the water here is very cold, sometimes 0 degrees. So far we've learned there is seaweed around Cambridge Bay and in Dease Strait. This area was kind of a big unknown for kelp researchers, whether there was seaweed here or not. But there's kelp, there's big patches of kelp, and we're really just beginning to understand, where are they found, why are they in certain areas. It's probably partly related to ice, so where there's less ice in the winter, we're seeing more kelp, and it's really interesting so far. Seaweeds are primary producers, which means they make their energy from the light of the sun. They are part of the base of the marine food chain. They're a really important part of coastal ecosystems, and they also create habitat in the subtidal. So they create a place where fish and invertebrates can live and sort of have protection from the elements and from predators. CHARS, it has been absolutely instrumental to our success so far. They have amazing facilities with scuba tanks, compressor, all kinds of equipment and lab space that we can use that really makes our work much easier and more productive. I can press seaweeds in the lab, there's a beautiful microscope, and of course all the scuba equipment is really helpful.